A reign of terror ends, and an enduring mystery begins. As Russian troops swarm over Berlin, Adolf Hitler takes his own life. Or does he?
My Soviet friends found no trace of Hitler himself.
The trouble was, nobody had actually seen the body.
Could Hitler have dodged the Red Army and escaped at the last moment? That's what Soviet leader Joseph Stalin claimed.
He believed that Hitler was alive.
How else could Hitler have disappeared so completely? Now, examine the facts behind the legend.
These are definitely Hitler's teeth.
And learn the true story of Adolf Hitler's mysterious end. April 1945. History's deadliest war is nearly over. The defeat of Nazi Germany is certain, but one grave question remains. What will be the fate of the man who started it all, Adolf Hitler? At his hands, a continent lies in ruins, and tens of millions are dead. To a shell-shocked world, Hitler's unprecedented campaign of destruction deserves only one penalty: death. But many fear that somehow he will escape. Already the press carries tales of body doubles who will take Hitler's place, allowing him to flee. Other stories warn that if Hitler lives, he'll raise a new generation to accomplish what he could not: the conquest of Europe.
People were afraid that the war would go on. The last thing they wanted was a disappearance of Hitler or the leadership, and thinking, God, it's not over yet. It's not over until we actually find him, until we know that he's dead.
These fears are only the beginning. Long after the war's end, Hitler's whereabouts will remain a mystery. Key eyewitness accounts and forensic evidence will lie buried for half a century, while rumors fly of Hitler's escape to all corners of the globe.
Some of them emerged from Madrid, where there were stories of huge submarines being prepared in the north for the escape of the Nazi government.
He was going to Japan. Japan is obvious because that was an ally of Germany.
Not only were Nazi bigwigs, even Adolf Hitler, escaping to Argentina, but from Argentina they had established a secret U-boat base in Antarctica.
The rumors will trigger animosity among the war's victors as they accuse one another of hiding Hitler. Decades later, some neo-Nazis will cling to the tales as proof of Hitler's invincibility. Is it possible that Hitler could have escaped? What really happened to Hitler at the war's end? The mystery begins in Berlin. April 1945. Whatever window of escape Hitler has is rapidly closing. For months, the Allies have owned Germany's skies, making air travel deadly. Their relentless bombardment has filled Berlin's streets with rubble, hampering escape by car. Now, the Red Army is closing in, and no one wants to nab Adolf Hitler more than Soviet chief Joseph Stalin.
There was no doubt that Stalin and the Russians wanted to take Berlin. To Stalin, if he could capture Berlin, and even more so capture Hitler, he would be at the very pinnacle of his immense power.
Stalin's generals craft a battle plan to make sure they, and they alone, seize Berlin, and hopefully Adolf Hitler. Rather than drive west and allow the Americans to attack from the other side, they will encircle the city. the man they are after will not go easily. Unrepentant, Adolf Hitler is convinced his nation has betrayed him by losing the war. And he's determined not to be captured by Stalin. He orders his men to fight to the death.
Surrender was never an option as far as Hitler was concerned. He was, if you like, a compulsive gambler. And this notion of just throwing in your last chips, your last battalions, meant that somehow he would win in the end.
When the Red Army reaches Berlin, its soldiers outnumber defenders 10 to 1. Yet they must claim the city block by block, house by house. Finally, on May 2nd, after 17 days of fighting, the last garrison keeping the Red Army from Adolf Hitler surrenders. Radios worldwide trumpet the news.
Berlin has fallen. Marshal Stalin has just announced the complete capture of the capital of Germany.
But where is the warmonger behind it all? The first reports say Adolf Hitler is dead.
Just about an hour and a quarter ago, the German radio said that Hitler had died fighting with his men against the Russians at his command post in Berlin.
Could this really be Hitler's hour of reckoning? Almost immediately, conflicting accounts dashed the world's hopes. The Russian press scoffs at the notion that Hitler died fighting and insists he committed suicide. The Americans claim Hitler was ill.
There are some reports that Hitler died as the result of a stroke suffered several days ago. There are other reports that Hitler was not in Berlin at all, that he's been hiding out and that he may still be alive.